For me, I mean, exponentially beneficial, to the point where guys didn't quite know my skill set, and that's not anyone's fault at any given point. What I did here at LSU helped us win a ton of games, and it was what I needed to do for us to be successful, and it was what I was called on to do for us to win games. So at the end of the day, to be able to get out to the Senior Bowl and kind of flash a little bit of receiving, raise questions and then answer those questions at the combine, speed, vert, broad, just athletic ability overall, just kind of put my name out there. I was trying to show what I had and not really prove anything to anyone, just go out and have the best days that I could, and I think I did a pretty good job of that.
What's your biggest selling point? What's your biggest selling point, your best attribute?
I think my best attributes are kind of off the field, in a sense. I believe a lot of football is kind of based mainly on what you could handle mentally. Things like grit, toughness, responsibility, just the ability to fight no matter what. And then when we get on the field, I'm incredibly aggressive. I'm a bruiser. I'm a finisher. And I got a little bit of speed to me too that you don't really expect. At the end of the day, I'd say my attention to detail and my preparation is kind of what gets me through a week. That's always what I've hung my hat on my ability to out prepare my opponent. If you try to win the game when you get to the field, you're going to wind up losing. The game's won before you even smell the turf.
I know you probably, obviously through training, knew what you were going to do at the combine, but when the season ended and you were looking towards training, did you know, look, I'm going to be able to test well?
I knew I was going to do the absolute most for me to be able to try and test through the roof, to try and just put my name up there with the guys that you guys love to talk about. And at the end of the day, I worked as hard as I could for as long as I could to try and just get my numbers lower, and just get stronger and just better at football at the end of the day. And I did a pretty good job of that, and I think that kind of speaks for the numbers that I put up at the end of the day. I didn't go in expecting to run a 4.6, but I mean, through training, through speed work, through understanding how to use my body to my advantage, that's what I was able to do. I didn't expect to jump 36.5-inch vert, but through my training and understanding of how to use my body and show off my explosiveness, we were able to do a great job.
I guess it's up to you. Your agent handles this mostly, but do you get a sense from the Senior Bowl through the combine to now, kind of where your stock was and where it is now?
I mean, it's definitely rose, but at the end of the day, where people place my stock on public sites is irrelevant. At the end of the day, I mean, you got a guy with 1,000 Twitter followers that's posting his top 10 for tight ends and it's no disrespect, but I mean, the media doesn't have any picks in this year's upcoming draft. So when it comes down to it, it's going to be who falls down through the board and who's willing to take a tight end at what spot. I definitely think I've raised my draft stock, and I'm very happy, and I'm blessed, and I just want to thank LSU and the guys up at Test and my agents, my family. I want to thank God for everything that I've been able to do through this process. It's been awesome. But it's fun to kind of get out there, raise questions, and not just prove people wrong, but just kind of take people back. Just kind of be a pleasant surprise at the end of the day. It's been a good process for me.
With the draft coming up in a few weeks, do you have any last preparations?
I mean, just guys during this time from pro day moving on to the draft, I feel like guys have a tendency to fall out of shape, fall out of true football shape, because I know that the draft is not very far off from rookie minicamp. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to try to be in perfect football shape, and I mean, just keep football fresh in your mind. I mean, people think this is the end of the road, this is the end of the process. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just a really long start to where you want to be. And I could promise that I'm not going to start my career slouching. I mean, I'm going to be in tip-top shape, and I know my compadres out there are going to do the same.
Were you a little insulted, Foster, that some people didn't think you could catch or didn't know that you had a history as a receiver?
Well, at the end of the day, no, because I haven't really shown that on really any game tape, as I was saying before, and B, that's just another guy's opinion, you know. And I'm sure that there's guys out there, you know, professional scouts, guys that it's their job to look it up, that they didn't know it either, and that's no one's fault. At the end of the day, just winning games was our prerogative here, and that's what we were able to do, and we did it a lot. So, I mean, I wouldn't change my time, my position, my role here for anything, from anyone. Stats are stats, but at the end of the day, and I know I keep saying it, wins are wins, and I'll take a win over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns any day.
Did you see or feel, or maybe your agent handled it, but did you see the interest from the teams increase after the combine and after the Senior Bowl?
A little bit, but there's a lot of interest that you get when you're there, specifically. I mean, you do informals with every team. It's